This video is part 3 of my Thomas Wooden Railway collection saga. I suggest you watch parts 1 and 2 before continuing on with this video. Also, if you like my content enough, I suggest you join the faraway Patreon for early access to videos and trains content. And also, subscribe and hit the bell. Please do it, support me, I have a collection to feed. Now that the main cast of characters are done with, we can now move to the secondary characters of the franchise. Here we have one of my favorite characters, and my Discord profile pic, Devious Diesel. This 1996 version has seen better days, like half the paint is now gone. If this item would be in good condition, it would be one of my favorite diesels, but as is, it's pretty good. So let's look at a much better diesel. This is a 2001 diesel with thick wheels and all the upgrades that were made. Learning Curve really got diesel right. It's so simple yet so effective. Although I will say a slight nitpick, what expression is this trying to convey? Doesn't look devious to me, he just looks mildly annoyed. Is this face even from the show? Is it this one? Maybe? I don't know. Here we have a 2005 to 2010 redesigned diesel. And what an upgrade. Shape-wise it looks the same, but all the side details were refined to bits. So many details were added, like air vents and ladders and other stuff I don't know the names of, but it's cool that they added them anyways. I kinda wish Diesel's face was based on this iconic, devilish face. I think it would have conveyed the devious aspect of his character way more, but either way, a fantastic Diesel. Next we have two 2011 Diesels. They look exactly the same as the 2005 version, except they have a CGI face. Instead of looking mildly inconvenienced now he looks straight up pissed. Not my favorite Diesel. Doesn't look devious at all, just looks like his friend pulled out the comically large spoon. But at least the face is accurate, which is what you want to see. Lastly, we have a 60th anniversary bronze diesel. Just kidding, I have 3. I don't know how this happened, but somehow I ended up with 3 bronze diesels. I'm not sure if I should be proud or not. Diesel in bronze looks really good, but I think it's the weakest out of the 3 anniversary engines. Not as good as Thomas and Percy though, but still. Glad I own the 3 of them though. They look pretty great together. They are not rare at all, especially the diesels, they multiply by the second, I can't escape them. Here we have Boko, I mean Daisy. This is a 2007 version, and in my opinion it's the best version you can find. All of her details were refined, and it looks really great. That's kinda it though. Glad to have Boko in the collection. Here we have a 1998 Bill and a 1999 Ben. Although they look pretty awesome, I will say I don't like how both of them had the exact same face. Donald and Douglas had the same problem. If you have twin characters, make them have different faces. You know, makes them a bit more unique. That's what they did in the show. Even with the flaws, they're still great items. Glad to own them in the collection. They have no funnels. Learning Curve sure really hated funnels for some reason. Next we have another Ben from 2000. It looks exactly the same. Here we have a 2005 to 2010 redesigned Ben, and oh man, what an amazing upgrade. The twins have separate faces now. Now there's more of a reason to own them both. And they look overall cleaner. Shame I don't have Bill yet, but when I do, you guys better run. Also, I believe this is the first time Bill and Ben were sold together. I always find it kinda cheap that Learning Curve sold twin characters separately, especially when the only difference is the name change. Yeah, try explaining your parents how they need to spend their hard-earned money on 2 funny trains that look identical. Glad to own this item, especially since they finally have funnels.
Woo! Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about. Woo!
That is honestly really cool to me. Next we have a 1993 Boko, the Metropolitan Vickers
Diesel Electric Type 2.
Oh man, I kinda didn't ask. I've heard that the 1993 Boko with grey roof is pretty rare. Definitely a jewel in the collection. I got this alongside my 1993 Percy. Looks vintage, looks old, looks ugly, I like it. Boko has many details, and it even has the BR logo. If it was up to me though, I would have the 2003 to 2005 Boko. Looks so great when it's brand new. Even though, glad to have this item in the collection. You know, it's Daisy! Next we have a 1993 Mavis. This is the version that has the 4 wheels. Another really rare item apparently, and another crown jewel in the collection. Mavis looks really plain, like the item has little to no detail on its side, but it works. It's weirdly charming. I got this alongside Boko and Percy, and I'ma be honest, that was my proudest moment in my life. These are the most treasured items in the collection. The items I will never shut up about. The next Mavis is a 1997 Mavis. This is a version with the 6 wheels. Although it is accurate to the prop, anyone who's owned Mavis as a kid will know the pain of making her go through tight bends. Toby used to have 6 wheels in the prototypes, but was later removed in final releases for this exact reason. The middle wheel and this chunk of plastic prevents the engine from going through corners smoothly. Look how hard it is! I'm really trying! I don't know why Mavis was reverted to 6 wheels. The 1993 version has no issues going through curves, but the updated one does, and it pains me to no end. Just get the 1993 version, if you can find one for cheap! The next character in the collection is Stepney. Stepney's another character that I love his design, and the wooden railway version does not disappoint. We have a 1996 Stepney in rough condition. Whoever owned this before me sure hated Stepney. Fortunately, I have a 2003 Stepney in great condition. For some reason, Stepney kept the wooden funnel while all the other characters by 2001 had a plastic funnel. I don't know why, maybe humanity wasn't ready for a plastic funnel Stepney. Stepney looks really great. Love his details and mustard color. One of my favorite items that was based off the prop, which was based off the book, which was based off the engine in real life. This is the only version you can find though. No other version was ever made. What? There is another Stepney out there? No way, man. This was the only Stepney that was released. I swear, no other version exists.
What the fuck? What the fuck was that?
Man, all this standard gauge stuff is making my head spin, and I seriously need to forget 2004 Stepney exists. So let's take a break from all the standard gauge characters and now look at the narrow gauge engines from the Skarloey Railway. We're small and strong, it's all the rage. Let's start with everyone's favorite #1 red homie. This is a 1996 Skarloey in pretty poor state. No eyebrows, lots of paint chips, the usual damage. Another veteran of war. Here we have a 2003 to 2010 Stepney. Wait, Stepney? What the fuck? Here we have a 2003 to 2010 Skarloey. This is my childhood Skarloey. It has a plastic funnel and thicker wheels. Looks pretty good for a toy that I've owned since little, although it has no eyebrows. Seriously, the eyebrows are the first thing that disappear. Pretty good item, although I prefer the 1996 version in all its paint chip glory. Also, quick update, while editing this video I found a 2003 Skarloey in great condition for the low price of $1.50, alongside other items that we will see in future videos. Not as many paint chips, it even has eyebrows. Skarloey looks pretty good in wooden form. It's red, it's old, it's Skarloey. Moving on. The last Skarloey is a 2012 Skarloey. Yeah, from the Blue Mountain Mystery movie.
What did you do?
Doing it your mom?
Looks great. Lots of detail were added, like lining and side rods. The face is really accurate, which is what you want to see. It even has detail on the back. Not a lot of engines have detail in the back, so this makes it my favorite Skarloey automatically. Sorry, I don't make the rules. Here we have a 1997 Rheneas.
Actually, Hugo, it's pronounced Rheneas, like the Railway Series audiobooks from 5 decades ago. You fake fan.
You know what? Skill issue, okay? I will pronounce Rheneas however I feel like society. Rheneas was the last narrow gauge character I got, and oh my god, I wish I did sooner. This item is great. The proportions and detail are spot on. The face is cool. It's based on the face that wasn't used in the show. It's the wrong color, but who cares? A really spot on item all around. But what if you don't have a 1997 Rheneas and you hate happiness? Here we have a 2012 Rheneas. Okay, I know he was based on the Blue Mountain Mystery movie render of him, but was it necessary to have a huge ass face? Not a fan of this version. The proportions are abysmal, and I really don't like Rheneas in orange. I also have a yellow Rheneas. Yeah, remember that post-credit scene from Blue Mountain Mystery?
Ta-da! Rheneas! It's me!
That actually is pretty funny.
Yeah, you bet that we're gonna make a toy out of the 2-minute scene. That's it! Those were the only Rheneases ever made. Trust me, there were no other Rheneases out there. There is no point of looking that fact up. Okay, you know what's coming. What are those wheels? Sir Handel? Speaking of the devil, here is Sir Handel. The 1997 version has a wooden funnel and nice detail. The 2000 version has a plastic funnel. He looks the same to me. Sir Handel looks great. I like him. Glad I have 2 of them. Moving on. Peter Sam is one of my favorite narrow gauge engines. Look at him. Look how happy he is. So I was happy to finally own a 2001 Peter Sam. I use this as an old funnel Peter Sam. I want to own the 2008 version just to have a new square funnel Peter Sam. And also because this is one of the few redesigns that doesn't look completely terrible. Either way, I like this little guy. It's green, it's jolly, it's Peter Sam. Nothing ever happens to the Peter Sams. Rusty is another favorite character of mine. The Series 4 one, not the yee-ass large-scale one. I have a 2001 to 2011 Rusty. Just kidding, I have two. This version of Rusty is... okay, they had a good version of him in 1995, but then the front part was extended just to annoy me, and now the face looks extremely small. Also, the white roof is really inaccurate, but I'll allow it. It fits him, I like it, it's become a rare item nowadays. Going back to my Rusties, they look fine. Here we have Duncan. This is a 2002 to 2007 Duncan. Looks great. I like Duncan. This Duncan is brand new actually. It came with the Thomas Gets Bumped DVD. What a win for the collection. I lost my original Duncan from the 5-car engine pack, so getting a brand new one was awesome. Duncan. Here is a 1996 Duke. Let me guess. No tender. Or as Learning Curve called it, coal car. Alright, it's weird. The item is dated 1996, but the wiki insists the item was released in 1997. Huh, this is my favorite out of all the narrow gauge engines. Duke was such a great character, but again, I'm missing half the fun of this item. The 2008 redesign of the Duke is pretty awesome too. They added plastic domes and more sight details, and the face is really accurate. But also, no tender. Life just doesn't want me to get Duke's tender for some reason. It's no use, Hugo.
You can't win.
Here is Smudger from 2008. And guys, I think I found a gem. This is one of the most unique items in Wooden Railway history. No, really, I unironically love this item. This isn't just a repaint of Rheneas like the prop, it's a totally unique mold. I love that green color, and the gold dome really adds to the charm. It's weird how Smudger, freaking Smudger, a character that appeared in one episode from 3 decades ago and was turned into a generator by the end, is one of the best items in Wooden Railway history. Nice proportions, nice detail, nice paint job, an item that is definitely overlooked by many. Overall, Learning Curve did a great job with the narrow gauge characters, until they gave up. But hopefully this illustrates what I like so much about Wooden Railway. The way they can depict a character with so minimal detail is mesmerizing. It doesn't need to be highly detailed or move on their own. Yet it's so charming and so high quality. Sometimes simple is better. And I think Learning Curve stayed true to their word for most of its tenure. It's truly the Wooden Railway system with personality. Now that all the characters from the first 4 seasons of the show are now covered, I think it's a good note to end things on. Oh my god. Well, seems like we're not done yet, because it's time for the Railway Series Character Round! As you can tell, I am so excited for this part. Although the show stopped adapting the books in 1998, Learning Curve and other ranges realized that there were many colorful characters that were only in the Railway series books. So why just stick with characters from the show when you can make more items from the books and make even more money? And they went all in, especially Learning Curve and Ertl. Even some of the most obscure characters, and I mean obscure, had a toy, and they were some of the most unique and best items Wooden Railway ever made. The amount of effort is outstanding. But if we were kids back in the day and haven't read the books, then we all said the same thing in unison.
¿Quiénes son ustedes?
Let's take a look at some of the characters I own, starting with a 1998 Coldy the Mountain Engine. Coldy was a character in which, although he didn't appear in the TV series and was only available in one book, he was weirdly relevant to Wooden Railway. Most famously, he was at the Day of the Works set, but he was also in the Roundhouse set and many packs and bundles. Let's take a look at this item and... yes, I've heard all the complaints about this item. Yes, it's weirdly shaped. Yes, the face is the size of a mini M&M. And the rear face is... but I still weirdly like it. It has the charm of classic Wooden Railway, and I'm a sucker for purple engines. Wow, totally not biased, Hugo. But I agree, this item looks tart. If you don't like this Coldy, then you can get the fat 2005 Coldy, which people like for some reason, or the awesome 2015 one, that you're wrong for not liking, but as is, I like this little guy. Mostly. Here we have a 2001 Mike with a 1997 tender, although the wiki keeps insisting Mike was released in 1998. Huh, I mentioned this in a previous video, but I found the tender first and then it took me 2 years to get the engine. I'm very glad to own this item in its complete state. I know the tenders are separate years, but shh, really lovely item. Aside from the face. I know it's based on the book, but still, just look at it. If you confuse this item for James, I don't blame you, they pretty much have the same proportions. For the longest time, Mike, Rex, and Bert were Railway series only characters until 2015 when they were finally introduced in the CGI series. So Mattel brought Mike back, and wow, what an upgrade. I like how small he looks, I like the face, it's really accurate, which is what you want to see. Really great item overall. See Mattel, what happens when you actually try? I have a spare mic without the tender, just because this mic is that awesome. In terms of which one is my favorite, it's hard to say. I think both have pros and cons. I think it's a matter of preference, but if I had to choose, I like both. Okay, there, I said it. Moving on. While we're on the topic of Arsdale engines, here we have a 2003 Frank. It's cool to see that they even took time to make characters from the Christopher era of the Railway series. As made as some of these books were, my Frank came with the Thomas and a Special Letter DVD, and I would question why, but it's a given that 95% of DVD packs make no sense. Get used to it, it's gonna make it worse if you think about it too much. Frank looks really great, has an accurate face, nice gray color. I'm pretty sure it's the same mold as Mavis, but who cares, man, this is a neat item. My favorite rapper in Enterprising Engine 93 videos. Next we have a 1996 DY99. My version is in pretty lame shape, the colors are really faded and has a lot of paint chips. I can't do this item justice like this, so let's take a look at a 1999 D199999999. This one is in much better shape, and this is one of my favorite items from the collection. So many details on its side, like airbends, doors, windows, the VR logo. It even has detail on the roof. One of the most detailed items ever. It looks way too square, but who cares, man? I highly recommend this toy. It adds some great flavor to any layout. The 2005 to 2011 redesign is really great as well. It has rounded edges, which is more accurate, and the details were refined even further. It even has windshield wipers. Does the overly expensive troublesome truck has wipers? I don't think so. I prefer the 1999 version, but either way, great item. Even though the face is a downgrade. Stop looking at me like that, Jesus. Next we have a 2003 Wilbur. I always liked Wilbur's design in the books. Austerity locomotives look awesome, and his wooden railway counterpart does not disappoint. Wilbur looks really nice. The face is really accurate to the Klein Swong illustrations. It has a nice dark blue color. It even has a great running board. This is as accurate gets. Finally, we have a 2003 Ivo Hugh. When I was a kid, I didn't know who he was, but it was one of my favorite items. I thought Hugh must be English variant for Hugo, so when I looked at this item, I said, "It's me! It's me, guys! I'm a marketable Thomas toy!" There is a character called Hugo in the CGI series. Oh, we'll get to it. Back to the item. He looks so janky, man. Just for comparison, this is Ivo Hugh, and this is his wooden railway toy. The face is big, but it's really funny. It looks like Soapman. Wait a minute, but it has neat detail and came with zoo cars, because you can't have Ivo Hugh without the zoo cars. I mean, there's more character development than he had in the book. So those were all the Railway series characters I own, and all the secondary characters from the first 4 seasons. I thought we will be able to see all the secondary characters from the show, but nope. I don't know how it happens, but every time I sneeze, the more the video is delayed. I don't know, it's just a weird quirk I have. But contrary to popular belief, those were not the only secondary characters from the show. So that means that we're not done yet. Stick around for part 4 and we will see the TV series characters from the franchise. Yes, for real this time. I don't have as many though, so the next part will be shorter than usual, but to be honest, good. Because talking about Bash Dash and Ferdinand will be the death of me. I legit don't want to do it. Help, please help, send help. Hopefully you guys enjoyed part 3. This has been my favorite part so far, although it took a little longer than usual to come out. The first 2 parts burned me out a bit, so I took a short break so I could work on train stuff and reset my brain. I hope the wait was worth it though for you guys, as I put all my heart into this part. As mentioned previously, part 4 will be shorter than usual, so I can focus on other projects as well. And I have no confirmed releases yet. Again, I would like to thank my loyal patrons for the support. We have some new members in the team, and I can't thank you enough for that. You guys rock, and I love you, Mom and Dad, for supporting me. In the meantime, see you guys next time. Adios.